All right, when you think of world-class wine, I bet you're picturing the rolling hills of France or Italy, right? Well, forget that for a minute. What if I told you that some of the most exciting new wines are coming from the tropics? Today, we're diving into an incredible revolution happening in the highlands of southeast Brazil. It's a story of how pure ingenuity is literally changing the seasons to redraw the entire wine map.
So, that brings us to the big question. Can you really make high quality wine in a tropical climate? I mean, traditionally, the answer would have been a firm no way. The classic wine grapes, the ones that make up almost all the world's great wines, they need temperate zones with mild, dry summers to really thrive. Tropical climates? That's a whole different ballgame.
And here's the core of the problem, laid out right here. A normal grapevine cycle is perfectly synced up with a temperate climate. It's all set for a nice, dry summer harvest. But in southeast Brazil, summer is the rainy season. We're talking hot, humid, and very, very wet. And for wine grapes, that is a total disaster. The high humidity is a recipe for disease, and all that rain just dilutes the sugars and flavors in the grapes, making quality wine just seemed, well, impossible.
So, how in the world did Brazilian winemakers solve this massive climatic puzzle? Well, get this. They didn't change the climate, they changed the vine's entire schedule using an incredible innovation known as dupla poda. Okay, so what is dupla poda or double pruning? At its heart, it's a completely revolutionary idea. It flips the vine's natural cycle on its head. Instead of trying to fight against that rainy summer, this method shifts the entire growing season to the region's dry, mild, and sunny winter. It's brilliant.
So here's how it actually works. First, around January, they do a summer pruning. This one basically tells the plant, hey, just focus on growing leaves and shoots this season, no fruit. Then, the second and really crucial pruning happens around July. This is the one that tells the vine to produce flowers and eventually grape clusters. The result? It's pure genius. The harvest now happens during the perfect dry winter, completely sidestepping those destructive summer rains. And the impact on the grapes? Oh, it changes everything. Harvesting in the dry winter preserves that vibrant acidity that gives wine its freshness and backbone. The sunny days let the sugars concentrate perfectly without getting watered down. It also gives the grape skins time to develop deep color and those important tannins. And because it's way less humid, the grapes are just healthier, with a much lower risk of disease. This is the real secret to unlocking that quality. Now, this game-changing technique wasn't just some happy accident. Nope. It was the result of years of dedicated research led by IPAMIG, the agricultural research company of Minas Gerais. Their scientists and researchers were the true pioneers who developed, tested, and perfected this method, pretty much single-handedly unlocking the potential for tropical winemaking. Okay, so we know the technique, we know the science, but what about the wine? What's in the glass? What do these winter wines actually taste like? Let's get into it. The absolute superstar of the region, especially in Minas Gerais, is Syrah. When it's grown with this double pruning method, it produces these wines with a stunningly deep, intense color. On the nose, you get these beautiful aromas of ripe blackberries, black pepper, and all sorts of spices. But honestly, the palate is where it really blows you away. You've got these big, structured tannins, but they're balanced by a surprisingly vibrant and refreshing acidity. It's a totally unique take on the grape. And the white wines are just as impressive. You'll find these really elegant and versatile Chardonnays with those classic notes of apple and pear. But then you also have these incredibly aromatic Sauvignon Blancs that just explode with tropical, passion fruit, and grapefruit. And the one thing they both share is that incredible high-altitude acidity from the winter harvest. It makes them exceptionally fresh, crisp, and so refreshing. Now, this amazing technique is really only half of the story, because the other crucial element is where these vines are actually planted. We have to talk about the terroir. You see, the absolute game changer here is altitude. The vineyards in southeast Brazil are way up in mountain ranges, creating this sort of climatic escape from the intense tropical heat down below. These high elevations give them cool nights, which are so critical. They slow down the ripening process, which helps preserve that all-important acidity and allows for really complex aromas to develop. It's the perfect partner to the double pruning technique. Most of the action is happening in two main states, Minas Gerais and São Paulo. They both share the high-altitude Serra da Mantiqueira mountain range, and vineyards here are often sitting above 1,000 meters. Minas Gerais has really become the heartland for that intense aromatic Syrah we were just talking about. São Paulo also does fantastic Syrah, but it's showing a bit more diversity, crafting some excellent Cabernet Sauvignon, along with a whole range of whites and even sparkling wines.
So you've got this unique combination of a groundbreaking technique and this incredible high-altitude terroir. It begs the question, what does the future actually hold for winemaking in Southeast Brazil?
Well, the region is at a really fascinating crossroads. The opportunities are just massive. You got a huge local market right there, amazing potential for wine tourism in these beautiful mountain landscapes, and most importantly, a style of wine that is truly one of a kind. But of course, there are challenges. They'll have to keep adapting to climate change, compete with long-established wine regions around the world, and secure the investment and skilled labor they need to keep growing. And all of this leaves us with one final, very exciting question. With its remarkable story of innovation and its truly unique wines, could Southeast Brazil be the world's next great wine frontier? Only time will tell, but it is absolutely a region to watch.